Welcome to Any Hoop Podcast with your boy JC, and we back here at Any Hoop Podcast talking about the playoffs, man. Down. Round one is over, officially over, and we are into round two. So let's go into it. Round two, we're gonna start off with the Pacers and the Knicks, the East Coast. And listen, bro, JB scores 43, and the Pacers don't have nobody to guard him. That's pretty much what's going on. Listen, bro, JB going off. He's not dealing with the same defensive pressure he was dealing with in the Sixers series. You feel what I'm saying? In the Sixers series, they was able to throw bodies at him. We had an Embiid. They don't really have an Embiid over there. They got Miles Turner. Miles Turner is no Embiid. You feel what I'm saying? Miles Turner is good, but he is no Embiid. And pretty much the game plan for JB, because they don't have no big man like that, they got Miles Turner. Miles Turner is their rim protector. Obi Toppin's a good rim protector as well, but Miles Turner is their primary rim protector. So what they do, and they don't have no guard that's going to stop the guards. So Tyrese Haliburton don't play the greatest defense. You feel what I'm saying? Naismith, Neymar, I hope I'm saying his name right. But the number 2 on the Pacers, they don't play great defense. They're not point of attack defenders. They're really not. So what they like to do is don't get beat on the first step. You know what I'm saying? Don't let JB beat you on the first step, and let's try to funnel him down into the big man, Miles Turner or Obi Toppin, whoever they got down there, and make the big man make him make a tough shot. But what JB is doing is, as they're trying to funnel him down into the paint, into their big man, he just stop him before they get to the big man and hitting his mid-range shot, and he's killing it. He's making all his mid-range shot. As you can see, he scored 43 yesterday. That was great. And the rest of the team is coming along. DiVincenzo is shooting well. DiVincenzo shot well last series against the Sixers. Home team, dog. He had definitely won them game 2 in last series. And this series, he did his thing. He was a very clutch shooter. He made timely buckets in the fourth quarter when he needed it. This was a real close game that was going back and forth. And OG Anunoby made a 3 that was clutch. DiVincenzo made a 3 that was clutch. And Hart made a 3 that was clutch. So 24 points from Hart. 25 points for DiVincenzo. You feel what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson, 43 points. OG Anunoby, 13 points. Hartenstein, 13 points. Hartenstein is important too, man. Hartenstein, when they do their pick and rolls with JB, you can't just focus on JB. You got to focus on Hartenstein too, not just as a lob thrower, but he hits the short roll. So what a short roll is, when you do a pick and roll at top of the key or on the wing, which is the top of the three-point line, you feel me? You had a pick and roll right there, right? Boom. Instead of Hartenstein, when he sets the pick, usually you roll to the basket or you fade out to the 3 if you're a shooter. What he does is, there's this thing called the short roll. What he does is, instead of going all the way to the basket, he's going to stop at that free throw line. And when he gets the ball at that free throw line, 2 dribbles, and he got the nice little floater, he hitting it. And like I said, he got 13 points off of that. And that was key. That was really key. So when you focus on JB hitting his mid-range, he can just dump that joint off the Hartenstein, and he hit the 3. Or when you focus on Josh Hart trying to come down coast to coast, he can hit Hartenstein real quick with a short little on a short roll, and he can just hit the little floater. So they're playing really good in the mid-range paint. And for the Pacers, they're not a defensive team. All year, they have not been playing defense at a high level. All year, they've been playing subpar, middle-of-the-road defense, or even bad defense in certain stretches of the year. So I'm not surprised that they have a problem playing defense. They even had a problem, last series playing defense against the Milwaukee Bucks. They were just good. They were just lucky enough to have Dame hurt and Giannis hurt. So they've always had troubles with the defensive end of the ball. And it's shown here in the playoffs, bro, because when it comes down to it, you can't play defense and your whole offense is predicated pretty much to fast break points and playing a really fast-paced game. And they're not generating enough fast break points for them to win this series. That's pretty much what's going on. And it's showing that, when you get to the playoffs, you got to have a half-court system. They don't really have a half-court system. Not only that, but Tyrese Haliburton only took 6 shots yesterday. So you're definitely not going to win when your best player only taking 6 shots, bro. Like, Tyrese, I know you the next coming of Magic Johnson. You made a couple nice dimes. There was a no-look dime where you look, the three-point was open. Not Naismith, number 2, Nayard. He was open at the 3. You looked at him because he was open, made the low man at the elbow, not the elbow. I'm sorry, at the box. You made him look. And as soon as he turned, dom that joint Miles Turner in the paint. Beautiful dom. But you're not shooting enough, gang. You're just not shooting enough, bro. Fast break points, y'all only generated 18 fast break points. And that's just not what the Pacers are used to. They used to generate somewhere up between 30 points, fast break points. That's just how they do it. And even not just fast break points, they're also able to off an inbound, even get the drop on their opponents and push the ball up at an incredibly fast pace. One also thing too, though, is that not only could they not have the game on their terms, the Pacers, but the Knicks at the beginning of the game, they were actually matching the pace of the Pacers. They were actually playing fast. And that's why Josh Hart ended up with 24 points. Because Josh Hart is good at fast-paced basketball. And he's real good going coast to coast. So he got a couple coast to coast baskets on the Pacers. And they didn't have good transition defense. They're just weak on defense, bro. That's what it comes down to. The Pacers just weak on defense. And when you get into the playoffs, there are less fast break points than there are in the regular season. And it becomes a half-court game. It's definitely more possessions where you focus on half-court offense than you focus on full-court offense. So that's what it come down to. And a team like the Knicks, they are tough defensively. They play boxes at elbows. They have good big men. You feel what I'm saying? Even with JR being out, Julius Randle being out, even with Mitchell Robinson coming off his injury and having a subpar results in the playoffs. You feel what I'm saying? Not Mitchell Robinson like we know Mitchell Robinson to be. His contribution next to Hartenstein's contribution, bro, they looking pretty good. They don't even miss Bogdanovic, which if they had Bogdanovic, this would be worse. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be worse. It definitely would have been a less of a close game. So when it comes down to the Pacers, man, I want to see them make adjustments on the defensive end. Look, the effort was there. I'm not gonna lie. At the end of the game, like fourth quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, like halfway through the third quarter to the fourth quarter, they was trying to play some defense, but those guys was gone already. Vincenzo was gone already. Jalen Brunson probably already had up to close to his 43 already at that point going into the fourth quarter. You feel what I'm saying? So like, listen, bro, they're gonna have to do something with this defense, and maybe they got to switch the boxes and elbows, which is pretty much if you know the painted area of the basketball court inside the 3-point line, it's a box, and you leave 2 players at the bottom of the box, 2 players at the top of the box. You know what I'm saying? 1 player playing the ball. And pretty much what that does is it stops people from coming into your paint super early. And that's probably what they need to switch to if they can do it. You feel what I'm saying? If they can do it. But the fact that Hartenstein is hitting his short roll, the fact that Jay Bree is hitting his mid-range and they're not really making it tough on him, it's going to be tough to beat this team the Knicks. Just saying, man. This is going to be tough. Now, let's go on to the T-Wolves and the Nuggets, who also played last night, but they played game 2 last night. So I'm gonna just run down both of the games. And pretty much what I see in this game, Ant Edwards and the Timberwolves, they've taken both of the games, and they are away. So they've stolen both games on the road with no Gobert in the second game because he just had his son. Shout out to him. And pretty much, to me, what I see, the biggest thing of why they're winning this series is that Anthony Edwards is locking down Jamal Murray. Now, Jamal Murray is having leg issues. I think something wrong with his knee. You feel what I'm saying? But he has leg issues right now. Injury to his leg. So he's not as spry as he usually is. But when is he ever really 100% in the playoffs? That man get banged up all throughout the whole season. You feel what I'm saying? And the fact that Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels can switch on and off of Jamal Murray and make it tough for him to get around his screens and to just shoot off the dribble. And he always sees a body. He can't get comfortable. It's not like he's just cooking one player. Like, if there's just one defender on you, eventually you're going to understand how he's defending you and how to beat him. It's, especially in the NBA. We have great offensive players in the NBA. Now, if we throw 2 people on you, you're not going to get comfortable. You feel what I'm saying? Once you start getting comfortable with Anthony Edwards, boom, here go Jaden McDaniels. You know what I mean? And they also have a good defense around that foul line area. You feel what I'm saying? They definitely put emphasis on that foul line area. Jaden McDaniels and Anthony Edwards put emphasis on the defensive end on that foul line area and try to lock you down there. And if you get there, you touch down there, they'll funnel you to one of their big men, Karl-Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert. And those two guys, let's talk about them, the backcourt. So key number one was Anthony Edwards playing defense on Jamal Murray and pretty much locking him down. The fact, I wasn't really expecting that. I'm not going to lie. I felt like Jaden McDaniels was going to be on him as the primary defender, and that's not the case. It's actually Anthony Edwards. He's probably the primary defender, but they switch on and off, so it's a good amount of both of them on Jamal Murray. But the fact that AE can dig in and play really good defense is setting this series apart. It really is, because with no Jamal Murray around there running around doing what he do, you see how he cooked the Lakers. With him, he cooked. That's all I'm saying. He cooked. The fact that he getting neutralized, for real. In the first game, in the first half, that man had 0 points in the first half. That ain't happened since we don't know when type time. That's not him. That's not what he do. He get buckets. You feel what I'm saying? You see him cook the Lakers, bro. He was getting buckets off the injury. He was cooking. You feel what I'm saying? This is not the same thing with the Timberwolves. And these Timberwolves remind me of the 2020 Lakers when they won that bubble championship. This remind me of them, where they have enough bodies to throw on Jokic and enough bodies to throw in on Jamal Murray. So with the fact that they slowed down Jamal Murray, that number two, it makes it hard for Jokic to score. So what they like to do is they like to get Jamal Murray going a little bit. You feel what I'm saying? Once they get Jamal Murray going a little bit, and people are, you still focus on Jokic. Don't get me wrong. Everybody still focused on Jokic. But Jamal Murray, once he start getting off, you focus on Jamal Murray. That's the number two. Once he start getting off, it's like, all right, boom, he's going to kill us if we just let him get off. So we got to shift the defense, have a little bit more attention on Jamal Murray. So once the defense switches and puts a little bit more attention on Jamal Murray, here come Jokic cooking y'all. So now he starts scoring a little bit. And once he starts scoring a little bit, it's like, damn, we gotta play both of them. And now it's just a nightmare when they play the two-man game between Jamal Murray and Jokic. No Jamal Murray, Jokic is limited. You feel what I'm saying? Now that Jamal Murray is slowed down and he not killing us off the pick and rolls and off these down screens and getting open threes or slightly contested threes. You feel what I'm saying? Now that he's calmed down, we can focus some more attention on Jokic. And what they're doing is they also switching off Gobert and Cat on Jokic. But what they like to do is they like to put Cat on Jokic. He's good enough to stand up to him. And then put Gobert on Aaron Gordon and let him roam. So now when me and Mike was discussing it on our last episode, we was telling y'all that if Aaron Gordon can hit threes, it'll probably be a problem for the Timberwolves because it'll bring one of their big men out of the paint, which will make it easier for the Nuggets to get into the paint. But he's not a good three-point shooter. You feel what I'm saying? And he shot 2 to 3 threes last game. Yeah, last night. 2, 3, and he made them. You feel what I'm saying? It still really wasn't enough. You feel what I'm saying? It still wasn't enough for the Timberwolves defense to break down. And I also think that was also because they didn't have Gobert, so they played a slightly different defense, with Cat being more of a primary anchor, defensive anchor in that game. But in the first game, you feel what I'm saying? What they was doing was they was letting Gobert roam, and they was letting Cat take Jokic one-on-one. But it really wasn't a one-on-one situation. As soon as he got 2 dribbles in, Gobert already over there lurking. You feel what I'm saying? And with those 2 guys down there, they're handling Jokic. You feel what I'm saying? So now we got 2 guards handling Jamal Murray, 2 big men handling Jokic. And with that combination, they're not getting off scoring all crazy. You feel what I'm saying? They still scoring. They still getting buckets. Don't get me wrong. They still the champions. But they look like a regular basketball team now. They don't look like that well-oiled machine right there because there's kinks in there. And that kink is Anthony Edwards. You feel what I'm saying? You're throwing a kink in that joint. So now with the defensive end lockdown and all that, you got Anthony Edwards on the offensive end cooking y'all and torching y'all. And not only that, when we talk about game 2, the rest of the team started hitting threes. You had Naz Reid who came in and played an excellent job. You feel what I'm saying? When, like, on that next man up mentality that everybody talk about in the NBA, that's really Naz Reid, the 6th man of the year. You feel what I'm saying? Naz Reid came in there and he gave y'all 14 points. How many threes he hit? He hit 4 threes. You feel what I'm saying? That was the key. Him hitting 4 threes brought Jokic out of the paint. You feel me, bro? Gordon out of the paint. Whoever's sticking in Nas Reed at the time has to come out of the paint. Jokic and Gordon are really good in the paint. Gordon is athletic and get blocks. Jokic is Jokic. You feel what I'm saying? We all know who Jokic is. MVP. Two-time MVP. With one or two of those guys out of the paint, at least the paint open. And when the paint's open, you feel what I'm saying? Anthony Edwards shines. You go down there, he scored a couple buckets on Jokic because he had got the step on Jokic. Jokic was a little bit out, you feel what I'm saying? Now we can get around Jokic, you get straight to the cup, you feel what I'm saying? A lot of dunks down that John, you feel what I'm saying? Bro, they was going in, bro. They was feasting in the paint on the offensive end. Let me see how many paint points they got. Give me a second. 20 points in the paint, you feel what I'm saying? No, I'm sorry. Not 20 points in the paint. 52 points in the paint, bro. Compared to the Nuggets, 34 points in the paint. And they dubbed them this game, bro. They dubbed them, bro. 106-80 in game 2. And then game 1 was 106-99. You feel what I'm saying? And Jamal Murray had like a little bit of a better half in the first game. And in the second game, he was way better than he was in the first game. But it just still wasn't enough because they played good enough defense to slow down Jamal Murray, good enough defense to slow down Jokic, and for them not to get off all crazy. You feel what I'm saying, bro? So that's that series right there. And y'all heard me since the beginning of the year. I told y'all this was the team that could beat the Nuggets. If Cat's healthy, they can beat the Nuggets. I was not expecting them to 2-0 them starting off. So this is something different. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be maybe 2-0 the other way because they the home, Nuggets is the home team and Timberwolves gonna have to get into action. I also think that the role players played a really good game in game 2. So I would like to see how they play in game 3. If they can come and be consistent in game 3. If they are consistent in game 3, if they play the same type of game they played in game 2 and game 3, and they bring Rudy Gobert back, and it looks even better than how they played in game 1. Because let me tell you, in game 2, those role players were able to get into rhythm, and they're going to carry that into game 3. And they're going to be home. Role players play better at home. You feel what I'm saying? We told y'all this last year when we was on the playoff. They play better at home. With that being said, are they going to be able to play better? Now that they going home, they already played good. Are they going to play better? Now that they going home, you feel me? Nas Reed, 6th man of the year? Home? Come on, y'all. I don't know, man. It's looking crazy, bro. I don't even know if he got his award yet. Maybe when he go home, they'll give him the award. I don't know if they gave him his award yet. I ain't see it yet. So if he gets his little award, then that's just going to be a great, you know what I mean? The crowd really going to be into it. Nas Reed, our guy. He might have a good game. He ain't have a bad game yet. You feel what I'm saying? So listen, that's that series right there. I got the Timberwolves in 7. You feel what I'm saying? It may not even go 7, y'all. So I had the Timberwolves in 7. That was my prediction. And with the Pacers and Knicks, I got the Knicks in 7. You feel what I'm saying? I think it's going to go 7. Yesterday was a real good game. They got some adjustments to make. And like I said, I'm a little nervous for the Pacers. They don't make these defensive adjustments, it's over for them. They cook. It's over for them. They cook. They got still one, bro. They got still one. They got still one. So, you know what I mean? Knicks did their thing. They took care of business at home. All right, so tonight, we got the Cavs and we got the Celtics. Me and Mike told y'all that, we did not really watch the Cavaliers and Magic series. I only watched game 7. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the only game on, 1. And 2, they put that game on NBA TV at the same time as the Sixers, the Knicks game. I'm watching the Sixers, the Knicks, bro. Not watching that game. And I say all that to say that when it comes to this Cavaliers and Celtics series, I expect the Cavaliers to dub. I'm sorry, not the Cavaliers. I expect the Celtics to dub the Cavaliers. I expect them to sweep them or gentlemen sweep them. You feel what I'm saying? So shout out to Donovan Mitchell for winning that game 7 because he was incredible in that game 7. And one thing I'm going to say about that game 7 was that he really willed himself back into that game. He was having a shaky first half. Second half, bro, he talked himself into that game. Like when they be telling y'all great players can find any way to pretty much like get themselves in that mode and get into the zone. We literally watched him get into the zone. Like they kept cutting to him when there's a dead ball in between timeouts or whatever. He talking to himself. He hyping himself up. He dapping up the crowd. Bro, it was great to see. He showed out. Shout out to Paolo. Because Paolo, you did your thing in your first game 7, and now you're gonna be averaging 30 in game 7. So next game 7, they're gonna pull up the joint. He averaged 30 in game 7s. Because he only played 1. But next game 7 is gonna be something serious. So we know Paolo don't shrink from the moment. That was a good experience for Paolo. He got kicked out in the first round. You feel what I'm saying? But he's only in year 2. So he's doing something, but that team, that Magic team, they need some more help. I'm not going to lie. They need some more help. Their offense is around Paolo, and we're going to have to see if Paolo is a number 1 scoring option. You feel what I'm saying? Straight bucket getter. He got some work to do. We're going to see. He can be. I think he can be. I think he can be. But he don't got a thing yet. You feel what I'm saying? He's just a hooper right now. But he don't got no like, oh, he hit threes. Oh, he a slasher. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, LeBron a slasher. Curry a shooter. KD, offensive juggernaut. You feel what I'm saying? Mid-range specialist type shit. You feel what I'm saying? DeMar DeRozan, mid-range specialist type thing. John Moran, super athletic, banging on people. He touching the paint. He a slasher. You feel what I'm saying? Paulo don't got one of those yet. So, shout out to Paulo. We'll see you next year, buddy. Hopefully, y'all do great things next year. Hopefully, y'all pull up y'all seeding, maybe. You feel what I'm saying? Because Sixers should be healthy. You know what I'm saying? Should be healthy. All right, boom. Mavericks and Thunder. Now, this is going to be a good series, my boy Luka. He made it to the second round. You feel what I'm saying? Mavs in 6. What did we tell y'all? Mavs in 6. And I got Mavs in 7 in this series. I think this is going to be a good series. To me, the key in this series is going to be the Mavericks big men versus Chet Holmgren. And not only just Chet Holmgren, and just how to defend the paint, period. We already know Luka Cone. All right, just putting it out there. Luka Cone. All right. Yeah, they can get by Luka whenever they want to get by Luka. I don't got Luka down for sticking SGA. I got them putting Kyle on SGA. You feel what I'm saying? But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Regardless of who's the primary defender on SGA, that's not going to be the defender on SGA, if that makes sense. It's going to be a team defense type of situation. So what they did for the Clippers when they were playing against Paul George and James Harden was pretty much tell Luka, give us enough time to help you. You know, to shift the defense to help you. Meaning, don't let him beat you on the first step. Shea, he's shifty. I don't know. It's hard to explain. He love that mid-range. That's pretty much what I'm trying to get at. He love that mid-range. That's his tendency to shoot the midi. You feel what I'm saying? But he's a slasher. You feel me? He's going to get to the cup if he can get to the cup. So, we'll see. When they were playing the Clippers, what they pretty much boxes and elbows, like we explained with the Pacers and Knicks series. They did the boxing and elbow thing. They had pretty much packed the paint up with enough space for the people to recover to the wings. You feel what I'm saying? But it was pretty much shrunken. And they had one guy right directly in the middle, right directly where the foul line at. So if anybody got by Luka, the next person picking up and swiping at the ball, trying to get try to get a turnover real quick. We'll see how good that is. And then we'll see if Luka can pick up his shooting numbers. Because last series was a terrible shooting series for my guy. He just could not shoot. He could not get it together. So we'll see what's going on with that. But I do think Gafford and Derek Lively are going to be very important in this series. We'll see how they defend Chet. You feel what I'm saying? We'll see how their transition defense is. If they can get back fast enough. If those guys can get back, then it's be all right. You feel what I'm saying? But the Thunder got a tricky offense. You feel what I'm saying? They do a lot of ball screens with a lot of inverse pick and rolls, which means that instead of the big guy setting the pick for the little guy, you feel what I'm saying? The little guy sets the pick for the big guy. And the little guy can go off and get a 3 out of the confusion that the pick and roll, causes. So they play stuff like that. They have good transitional offense. When Chet Holmgren is running the floor, he'll stop at the 3 because he can shoot a 3. And now your big man is down in the paint trying to defend the paint because that's what the big man does. When it's a fast break, the big man is supposed to go to the paint and protect the paint to make sure they don't get no easy open layups. But the other big man on the other side, he's gonna be at the 3, so they're gonna have to make a decision. Who's gonna pick up Chet in that transitional offense? When he does, it's over. So he's a mismatch, bro. If he stop at that 3 and the big man who's defending him, Derek Lively or Gafford, they also stop at the 3, then the paint move. You feel what I'm saying? Then SGA can get to the paint because he can get by Kai, he can get by Luka. You feel what I'm saying? So That's what's gonna come down to, bro. It's like, are they gonna be able to pull the big man out of the paint and let SGA work in the paint? If not, then we might have a closer game. But we'll see. We'll see, bro. And if Chet hit his threes, it's over for him. I ain't gonna lie, it's over for him. You feel me? They dubbed the Pelicans. You feel me? They swept him. They got him right out of there. And it was a dog fight. That's also why I think that the Mavs can win. But they gained experience in that first series against the Pelicans. You feel what I'm saying? I would like to see how they carry it over to the second round. But listen, bro, last time they played with everybody in, all players on the Mavs, all players on the Thunder, everybody healthy, the Mavs cooked them. So we'll see, bro. 9:30 tonight on TNT, 7 o'clock for the Cavaliers and Celtics game. That is the first games of round 2. You feel what I'm saying? We're going to have 4-5 come back. We're going to be, because after tonight, After tonight, everybody has played the game 1 in the second round. So we'll have Mike come over, you feel me, come back on here, and we'll give y'all more in-depth. He'll give y'all his take on all of the game 1s, you feel what I'm saying, and the previews for game 2. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for kicking it with us, man. Watch your basketball, you feel me? Enjoy the rest of your night.